And I saw the sort of people who were there. Mr. Kunle Bute is there from KPMG, and these guys were talking about
the
football,
business side of football.
And then I know that we have to understand that football is a business. And that is what has given me hope. In the Premiership of Nigeria today, all the clubs are government sponsored. So when I sit down in a room of people, in the NNL for instance, halfway through the season, they made a decision that they're going to stop playing. And I said, why? Because they said all the chairmen from the state, they want to go and watch the World Cup. And I said, well, why do you want to stop playing football? You're going to keep me, I'm going to be running expenses
You still pay your
for 1 month while this is going on. And so you are against people who do not understand the business side of football. So the challenge we have is that I'm a lone ranger in this area, but because Lagos is a big media market and Lagos doesn't have a Premiership club, if we can run this club like a football club as a proper business, and with what the league management company is doing, then I know that at the end of the day, even if I have a sponsor, I can still supplement some of that sponsorship with significant amount of revenues. For God's sake, all these clubs we follow, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, they're all publicly quoted company. And what we want to do really at the end of the day is that by the time we have been able to establish within a year in the Premiership, then we would like to list Stationery Stores Football Club and sell the shares and make it public so that you can make it an institution that can last. Of course, we have to go through the process of the board approvals and the AGMs to get that done, but I think that that is really where we're going. I think that it is time for the president to privatize football. The problems you are seeing in the NFF and the NFA, they are all...
Because of government funding.
It's government funding. They are all ways to be able to bypass the FIFA restrictions. NFA applies for funding from the National Assembly. NFF spends the money. NFF presents itself to FIFA. You see, so by the time the government is putting $15–20 million into a World Cup campaign, you cannot be talking about government interference because he who pays the piper dictates the tune. So what the president needs to do is not about these committees, but is to take those two entities, take them to the Bureau of Public Enterprise and privatize them and let football come back to the private people who are the football. The football is a football association, an association of football owners. And these are the sort of things that we're looking to do. The league management company is looking to, bring revenues into this club, and then the sponsors can come through. There are many companies like MTN. You know how much MTN makes in Nigeria? What is the percentage of what MTN is making in Nigeria are they spending on sports? If you go to South Africa, you know how much they're spending. Airtel, do you know how much they're spending on cricket in India? It's significant. But in this country, we're not getting value, and these corporates are ready to spend this money.
I'm going to come back to you. And my question to you as we wrap up will be, where do you see stores in 10 years? But before I ask you, think about it. Let me just quickly talk about tomorrow. You talked about the league management company now. We also need to talk about the fact that tomorrow, there will be midweek matches in the Globacom Premier League. Let's see if we can quickly get you up to speed with the fixtures of midweek matches in the Globe Premier League. While we wait for that to come on the screen, you can run on
in Port Harcourt. We have Sharks against
double over in Port Harcourt, and it will be live on TV.
Yeah, Dolphins will play Crown first. That's Caterpillars against Rangers, one of the big games of the midweek. Eyimba was another big game. Dolphins Crown will play at 2 p.m. tomorrow. That's the double header at the Liberation Stadium in Port Harcourt. Sharks and Atlant will come up at 4 p.m. after the Dolphins Crown game. Other games is going to be United against Logi Stars, Kaduna United against Aqua United, Academy FC Taraba, Nasarawa United, Bayelsa United, Giwa FC, Sunshine Stars. So these are the games for tomorrow. The last game is Abia Warriors against Nimbe City against Abia Warriors at the Chris Dera Stadium in Omoko.
All right, so those are the fixtures for you. You can trust us that tomorrow we'll give you a comprehensive review of all of these games if you're able to stay with us on Sports Tonight. I mean, I'm amazed that in spite of the fact that there is a Super Cup game currently going on, Madrid 2-0 up over Sevilla, the feedback we're getting on Twitter, asking questions about Stationery Stores is amazing. Akindele Opoyomi says, I'm in England, he's watching us online. He says, I won't mind Stationery Stores jersey. My question is, what's the club competitive edge compared to government clubs? Another person is asking that, where can I get the jerseys to buy? just tie this up with the fact that 10 years, where do you see the club as we wrap up Sports Tonight?
Well, thank you very much for having me on the program. I'm very grateful for the time you've given to me. It's a premier time. In 10 years' time, I think the way we see stores is that we want to position Stationery Stores as a global brand, a listed football club, first of all, and now not only looking at the brand as a local Nigerian brand, but a global African brand, listed, run as a proper professional business, making money and taking players into top competitions.
Where can we get your jerseys? Where can we sell the jerseys?
Well, the jerseys now are going on to the online marketers.
Okay.
The Jumia and Konga will be.
Okay, online marketing.
Yes, we're going to be starting that for a lot of people in diaspora because surprisingly, 50% of our sales are coming from offshore. So that's why we're.
For those of you who follow me on Twitter, Stationery Stores Twitter handle has retweeted one of our tweets. So you can also follow Stationery Stores on Twitter, and it will give you details of how you can go on and get those jerseys. A lot of people on Twitter want to know how to get these jerseys. Some of them not even based in Nigeria because they're watching Sports Tonight online. And I think that's how we have to wrap it up because our time is really up. Tilewa Adebajo, thank you so much for honoring us. Your first appearance on TV was is on channels.
Yes.
We don't have any other choice but to support Stationery Stores.
Well,
and wish you the very best this season.
Thank you very much.
And even in future seasons.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you to you as well for watching Sports Tonight this Tuesday. We'll see you again tomorrow with a bigger and a better package. Enjoy the rest of the night.
See the build-up to that goal. The effort of a crosser came from that side, and a Newman left above Anthony Abawula to just knock the ball. Anthony Abawula was at the same time covering the view of his goalkeeper, Joseph Onwuha, and it was a beauty of a goal scored by Newman on the 33rd minute, his second goal of the season after coming in from Nimba City.
Amongst his fans, he's known as Paje. Why they've chosen to call him Paje, I simply do not know, but at least he's proving to be one of the most popular players to have represented Sunshine out here today, as Ajani Ibrahim tries to initiate another move from the far right. The only goal today has been from his pull-out. What will Ajani do on this occasion?
Sunshine a chance!